To truly appreciate the extraordinary life of Alexander the Great, we first need to understand his era. Born into a world where the political climate was as volatile as a typhoon, Greece was a patchwork of city-states, each one vying for dominance. Meanwhile, the Persian Empire, a formidable behemoth, stretched from Egypt to India, casting a long shadow over the smaller Grecian territories. This was a time of great uncertainty, but also one of profound cultural evolution. Art, philosophy, and science were flourishing, setting the stage for a leader who would merge these elements to shape an era. Alexander was not only a product of this fascinating period, but also a catalyst that propelled it forward. His reign, while marked with warfare and conquest, was also a period of cultural exchange and advancements in various realms. Now that we have a sense of the world that Alexander was born into, let's delve into his life. Born in 356 BC, Alexander's life was destined for greatness from the start. He was the son of Philip II of Macedonia, a mighty king known for his military prowess and diplomatic acumen, and Olympias, a woman of strong character and mystical beliefs. From his father, Alexander inherited a passion for conquest, and from his mother, an unshakable belief in his divine destiny. As a young boy, Alexander received an education that would rival any modern-day curriculum. His tutor was none other than Aristotle, the famed philosopher. Under his guidance, Alexander studied everything from philosophy to politics to science, developing a well-rounded understanding of the world that would later influence his leadership style. His early years were not just about books and learning, though. Alexander was also trained in the arts of war and leadership, preparing him for the path of conquest that lay ahead. These formative years laid the groundwork for what would become one of history's most notable conquests. In 336 BC, Alexander's life took a dramatic turn when he ascended to the throne. The sudden death of his father, Philip II, under suspicious circumstances, left the mantle of leadership on his young shoulders. The kingdom was far from stable, with immediate threats looming large. His ascension was not without controversy. There were whispers of his involvement in his father's assassination, a charge he vehemently denied. Yet, as a young king, he faced these accusations head-on, and with an iron will, began to consolidate his rule. The first few years of his reign were marked by a series of victories that quelled internal dissensions and external threats. He crushed rebellions, won battles, and swiftly dealt with conspiracies. These early triumphs not only solidified his rule, but also showcased his military genius and strategic acumen. With his rule secure, Alexander turned his attention to broader horizons. Alexander's desire for expansion led to a series of conquests that reshaped the world. A man of boundless ambition, he embarked on an epic journey of domination that would etch his name into the annals of history. Starting with the Persian Empire, the most formidable power of the time, Alexander's audacious tactics and brilliant strategies led to his victory in the Battle of Issus. King Darius III of Persia was defeated, and the vast Persian Empire crumbled under the might of Alexander's forces. This victory was a testament to Alexander's military genius and his ability to inspire and lead his men against overwhelming odds. But Alexander's thirst for conquest was far from quenched. He turned his gaze towards the rich lands of Egypt. He conquered Egypt without any significant resistance and established the city of Alexandria, a grand testament to his name and a beacon of Hellenistic culture. Yet the insatiable conqueror yearned for more. He pushed eastward beyond the known world into the heart of India. His campaigns here were challenging with the monsoons and unfamiliar war elephants. Yet his indomitable spirit prevailed, adding another jewel to his ever-expanding empire. Throughout these conquests, Alexander displayed an uncanny ability to adapt his strategies. Whether it was the phalanx formation against the Persians, the use of siege engines against the fortified cities of Egypt, or his tactics to counter the war elephants of India, his leadership, charisma, and tactical acumen made him not just a conqueror but a legend. By the time of his death, Alexander had created one of the largest empires of the ancient world. His extraordinary journey of conquest, his audacious victories, and his relentless pursuit of glory had reshaped the world, leaving a legacy that would reverberate through the corridors of time. Alexander's death in 323 BC marked the end of an era, but the beginning of his enduring legacy. His demise, just like his life, is shrouded in mystery. Alexander died in Babylon, but the exact cause remains a subject of debate among historians. Some suggest he succumbed to malaria or typhoid fever, while others speculate about poisoning, an all too common practice in those tumultuous times. Yet regardless of the cause, his death created a power vacuum that led to the fragmentation of his vast empire. In the aftermath of Alexander's death, his generals, known as the Diadochi, quarreled over his succession. They divided his empire, which stretched from Greece to Egypt and as far east as India, among themselves. This division set the stage for a series of wars that would rage on for nearly 3 decades, further changing the face of the ancient world. But let's not dwell solely on the chaos that followed his passing. Alexander's legacy is far more than the division of his empire. It's about the cultural exchange and the diffusion of Greek ideas, often referred to as Hellenism. Under his rule, Greek culture, philosophy, and language spread far and wide, permeating societies and influencing generations long after his death. Cities founded by Alexander, most notably Alexandria in Egypt, became major centers of learning and culture. They fostered the fusion of Greek and Eastern cultures, a synthesis that gave birth to the Hellenistic age. This period witnessed remarkable advancements in various fields, such as science, art, and philosophy, which continue to shape our world today. The legacy of Alexander, therefore, transcends his military conquests and the empire he built. He was a catalyst for change, a force that brought different cultures together, sparking an era of knowledge and enlightenment that would echo through the ages. Even after his death, Alexander's influence continues to reverberate through the corridors of history. He remains indeed Alexander the Great. The life of Alexander the Great is a testament to ambition, strategic brilliance, and enduring influence. As we journey back through time, we find ourselves captivated by the tale of a young boy born in Pella, Macedonia, who would grow to become one of the most legendary figures in history. Alexander's life was not one of ease, but rather a series of challenges, triumphs, and transformations. From the moment he ascended to the throne at the tender age of 20, he exhibited a level of strategic brilliance that would carry him to the farthest reaches of the known world. His conquests, spanning from Greece to Egypt and as far east as India, were not merely military victories, but profound cultural exchanges. Alexander's empire was a melting pot of diverse nations, languages, and customs. He didn't just conquer these lands, he absorbed them, fostering an era of Hellenistic culture that would influence civilizations for centuries to follow. But Alexander's story is not just about the territories he conquered. It's also about his untimely death at the age of 32. His sudden demise left a power vacuum that resulted in years of conflict and eventually the fragmentation of his vast empire. Despite his early death, Alexander's influence didn't end there. His legacy continues to shape our world today. The cities he founded, the cultural exchanges he facilitated, and the strategic innovations he introduced in warfare all left a lasting imprint. His life serves as a powerful reminder of how ambition, coupled with strategic brilliance, can truly change the course of history. Alexander's story captivates us because it's as much about the human spirit as it is about the sweep of history. It's a tale of ambition, resilience, and the enduring impact one person can have on the world. From his humble beginnings in Macedonia to his untimely death as the ruler of an empire, Alexander's story reminds us of the indelible mark one life can leave on the pages of history.